Welcome back, everyone. Come on, get in. Come on. We're running out of time here. What's been keeping you all day? I've been waiting to go live. Okay, I'm late today. We'll talk about that in a moment. Get your coffee, get your PPP. We are nearly ready. Yes, right about now, we definitely need somebody to drop a banging bass line in there, isn't it? Isn't it? Nanogirl is in the green room. Yes, indeed, we're 49 minutes away from the main game in town. But for now, let's chill out together. Let's have a little coffee. Let's have a little look at one quick Mothman story. Why not? Why not? It's Wednesday, right? Every day's a Mothman day. How y'all doing out there, folks? You will see I have got my sensor sticker over my camera today. It's because there's very much copyrighted material being watched in the background. And the AI is getting so much better at recognising these things that you just can't really afford to risk it. You know, you might have seen me kind of looking away there, see what was happening. My other half, Anne, her football team is beating my football team right now. And not only that, they win their first title in 30 years today. Yeah, exactly. Television still used to have a back on them back in the day when Anne's team last won it. A mobile phone used to come in a suitcase that looked about that size when Anne's team last won it. What else used to be about in the world? Well, the world's changed in 30 years, right? I mean, let's face it, the Liverpool fans that celebrated 30 years ago, that was a different world they were in to the one they'll be celebrating in tonight. We can all agree on that, right? But I'm not bitter. Congratulations, Anne. Yeah, I'm waiting for the shoe. But no, thanks for joining me today. You know what it's like here on the pre-show stream. It's quiet, it's chilled, it's laid back. And wow, listen, if you are been listening or have been listening to the show, if I could speak correctly, past couple of nights I've had a real weird issue going on with the Skype. I don't want to say I've managed to correct it because it got a whole lot weirder today. It really did. I've been struggling to get it working all day, and then I thought, well, I'm going to test it in its kind of temperamental form. See if it's going to last the course of the 2-hour show tonight with Nano. Gave Nano a quick call, and if you use Skype, you know you've got a little kind of green dot or a orange dot. Your status, right? You're either online, away, you're invisible, you're hiding, or you get a blue spinning wheel that tells you it's trying to update and refresh. Well, that spinning wheel has been on my computer, my Skype, for about 2.5 days now, ever since Ben Emlyn-Jones and I joined up on Monday night. Now, I don't think there's anything nefarious going on. However, it got a little weird when I called Nano for the test call. She was sitting there, she was puzzled too. She's like, Kev, I've got no idea. I'm not like a tech expert, but I'm tech savvy. And I'd done all the things, you know, cookies, uninstall, reinstall, go in and take out even folders that weren't deleted by the uninstall, reinstall, new one, got the desktop version, got the Windows 10 tile version, the app. Everything doing the same thing. Until me and Nano started talking about it. And yeah, just to make it a whole lot weirder, it fixed itself. Now, listen, I'm not saying there's some crazy giant conspiracy type thing going on here, right? I'm not saying that. But you got to admit, that's a little bit weird. Just an ickle bitty weird, yeah? And I've noticed we don't have our event list on the screen. Let me pull that up here. All you great people who have contributed to the show, massive thank you. There you go, get that on there. And yeah, there's been a lot going on in the world today, right? Went on to Twitter this afternoon. Usually it reads like some kind of crazy man's ramblings with the kind of people I follow, the kind of things I like to keep an eye on. But much to my surprise, and of course we all know why now, Twitter's looking extremely different today. Now you might think I would be popping champagne corks and celebrating and swinging from the rooftops because that least favourite topic of mine, the letter of the alphabet, is now harder to find on Twitter. Mass deletion of channels. I'm not celebrating. I'm not. It's the topics you disagree with, the people that you disagree with, that you need to stand up for. And today they came for that mob. How long until they come for people talking about the stuff we talk about? That's why any erosion on anyone's free speech is a bad thing. So, weirdly, probably some of you will find I ain't too happy about it, but I get it. This is an important year, right? People's minds can be influenced. You don't want any outsiders influencing the already info war that's going on, right? But enough of that. We'll talk about that later on the show with Nanogirl. I'm just so glad that I think I've got my Skype fixed. I really, really am. Fingers crossed. And I'm going to come into the chat room, see who's hanging about in there. I see Little Glob in there. I got your message today, Little Glob. That was what kind of alerted me to everything going on. I see Robin. Good to see you. Rorschach, mad. I always make a mess of your name. I'm really sorry, Rorschach. I'll get it right one of these days. We have got Nothing As It Seems, the Wookiee. Rick. It's all due to the t-shirt. Oh, come on, Rick. Come on, man. I'm an enigma in Glasgow. Usually, if you support one half of Glasgow, you'll maybe support this football top I've got on. However, I support the other half. I'm an enigma. I'm the exception to the rule. I am. People look at me through a strange eye. Even Anne looking at me through a strange eye when I told her what football top I wanted for my birthday, you know? She's like, really? Really? That doesn't go. It's like one of that other mob. And if you're in Glasgow, you'll know exactly what I'm saying. So yeah, I'm the enigma, Rick. I truly am. We have got Colorist. He's calling. I'm calling you Colorist. I'm calling you. I don't want to call you any particular colour because I'd be discriminating, right? We have got who else is in there? Felicia A. I like that. Hey to you as well. Nice name. Really difficult for me to pronounce with my crappy talking. We got Toxic Crusader. Still a brilliant name. I want to make a meme up of you, Toxic. I really do. We've got Cheryl back in. Good to see you again, Cheryl. You've really got the KBS bug again, right? Hey, it's great to see you. It is. And I was speaking to one of our other regular viewers today, Sid Vic. He was over in Discord, and he was saying, Kev, listen, I don't listen to all your shows. Sometimes you touch on topics I don't get into. I'll leave it. I go and listen to something else. And I said, good, because that's exactly what I do. So people do, they come and go. And listen, there's never any need to explain anything to me. It's what I do with podcasts. Okay? Usually I listen to something and then maybe something else will come along, or the host I'm listening to, they go into something constantly that's just not my thing, and you drift away. It's what happens. It's only natural. But you always know that somewhere on YouTube, KBS is going to be hanging out somewhere. And we're doing pretty good with the regular daily streams the past couple of weeks. I've been maintaining my promise to you. And of course, we are on the cusp of getting our memberships back in again. We're going to bring them over here to the Kev Baker Show 2 channel. That's a way for you, if you choose to support the channel. But it'll be here regardless. We're here without it. So it's only if you want to. We can get to that at the weekend. I think we'll sit down on one day at the weekend and we'll actually make the emojis. We'll make the little badges. You can get your input and then we'll click it live and hope for the algorithmic gods to say, yes, sir. It's as good as that. It's pretty simple. So we can get to that. What else have we got? I haven't gone through the whole chat yet. We've got ZX in there. Who else? Jose Ramon Francis, Billy Joe, Polynation. We got Greg. Big hello to you, Greg. We got Saint Marionette. I got it right. I got it all in one go this time. Do you like that? The Wookiee, Jordan. Good to see you back again. You've got a really important name, dude. Jordan Shapiro. Sounds like you should be like some investigative journalist or something. You do. You got a cool name. Cool. Probably because of that Ben Shapiro guy. That's probably where I'm getting it from. Cool name all the same though, right? So, yes, tonight we've got Nanogirl on the show. It's been one of those weeks again. I was laughing with Nano earlier. She knows that I like to get Ben, Charlie, and her all in the same week if I can manage it. She knows that, like, that for me, it's one of my favourite weeks because it's literally just like hanging out with friends as opposed to doing some structured show with somebody you might not know all that well. You've maybe had them on before or you've heard them, but you don't have that rapport. And I don't know, these weeks, and we're in one of these weeks now with Ben on Monday, Charlie last night. Charlie was on fire, absolute fire. And tonight, Nanogirl's going to be exactly the same. Exactly the same. And then, of course, we've got our Sunday gig every week with Bill, and that's just going from strength to strength now. Remember, if you want any of the back episodes with Bill, they're over on Bill Bean's YouTube channel. Okay, because the main channel here is still in the review process, we kind of touch on some fruity topics. I think you would agree. So we do it live there because there's a bigger sub count than Bill's got over on his channel, so it gets out to more people. But then we archive it over on Bill's, and hopefully we can get Bill up to being a big channel as well. That's the plan, right? Because we all work together, or what? Or what happens if we don't hang together and work together? Then we're destined. We're absolutely certainly going to fall apart. Nothing surer, folks. So, I've got a little bit of the Mothman. I've seen it today. Nick Redfern. Woke up to Nick Redfern this morning. I know, there's a thought. You know, opened my eyes, and the first thing I seen was Nick Redfern's baldy head. Yes, falling asleep on the couch. Obviously, I had the History Channel on for my Ancient Aliens going to sleep, and yeah, I've woke up with Ancient Aliens on again. Hey, it's a bizarre world the KBS show lives in. I say the KBS show because from one day to the next, you don't know if you're getting Kev or Dave, right? Right? I know, even I don't know who you're getting some days. But if we go over here to Studio B, whew, thank goodness for that. I couldn't remember if I'd set it up or not because everything's been hectic today. Really has. And we're up to 4,620 subs now. That's still to kick into the 2 on there. Big thank you to everyone. Ticking over just nicely, just the way we want it. And really enjoying how we're doing things over here. And of course, yesterday, we cleared up for the second time the mystery drones over Colorado and Nebraska. I'm trimming the ends off that video so it can be a standalone video so that people can get that. And hopefully people will see it and it'll take some of the mystery away. I see Vardon Guerrero. He's just jumped in there as well. Good to see you, Var. Love having you around. And I can't go without mentioning the Gherkins. Hey, that always makes Sam laugh when I say that. She almost had it. You almost choke on your food there, man. Yep, almost made her choke. I didn't want to. I didn't. Next time I'll get better timing. Absolutely. So then, folks, so listen, let's get into a little bit of Mothman before we shift gears, and I'll show you what else we're going to get into today when Nano comes on. If I can find this here. Oh, it's all going wrong. It's all going wrong. No, it's not. If I put this over here, boom. That's the Nano Show girl today. If I take that down a bit. Temporary insanity. I can't think of a more appropriately titled show. Absolutely. So that's coming up in just over half an hour. But I've got one little Mothman tale to share with you, especially after the brilliant show we had maybe 8-9 days ago with Travis Short. Love that guy. Looking forward to working more with him. But if I take you over here to my man, the main man, the guy I woke up next to, it was so romantic. Nick Redfern. He's been writing about the Mothman again. And looking at the chat. Joshua, good to see you. Peanut. Yes, I'm going to start using Periscope as well. I know you're talking about up Periscope kind of thing, but that just reminded me. Periscope somewhere that we can go live to from time to time. And we're going to try that. Something new, right? Try something new. A new playing field for KBS. We're also over on Library. We're on BitChute. I know I probably shouldn't be promoting all these other platforms I'm on, but hey, it's the way we roll. So then, memories of the Mothman. Strange red eyes staring out a doorway. That could be actually red eyes staring out of a doorway in Scotland. Doesn't necessarily mean the Mothman. It could just be somebody really hungover. Typically on a Sunday morning, you'll see a lot of red-eyed characters walking about Glasgow in varying states of drunken disorderly and hangover. It doesn't necessarily mean when you see red eyes, don't automatically jump to Mothman. That's all I'm saying, okay? Could be a Scottish man staggering home. All right, albeit there ain't many 8-foot tall, lean, muscular kind of winged Scotsmen. Not that I know of. Maybe in Edinburgh. You get all sorts in Edinburgh. Could be some of them over there. So it says here, let's get into it. Love a bit of Mothman.
Excuse me, it's ma'am.
Had to do it once. It's an unfortunate and sad fact that many of the key figures in the 1960s era saga of Mothman are no longer with us. One of the people who is still around, I am very pleased to say, is Susan Shepherd. Now, I think this might have been the person that Travis was talking about, right? Right? Remember, I think he said the husband wasn't too keen on talking. I think this is the same woman who very generously shared with me her memories of those early days of the Mothman phenomenon. Now, Susan had some fascinating information to make known on that early period, of which I'll share with you. Now, if Nick Redfern has been listening to me and Bill Bean and Travis Short and stolen this story, I'm not going to be happy. It would be flattering, but let's see where it goes, right? See, I thought my team had scored, but no, it's them again. Susan had some fascinating. So it says, I'm maybe one of the few people who remembers the West Virginia Mothman and related events before the Mothman even had a name. It was one chilly November day in 1966 that my sister came home from school to tell a peculiar story that happened the night before at Merle Partridge's family. I was small at the time, but I remembered it this way. I sat at the kitchen table eating what remained of Halloween candy from the bottom of a grocery store bag. There was plastic over the kitchen windows to keep the cold out, and the hill outside was covered with brown and yellow grass that seemed to ripple. It always seemed like there were presences in our woods, and my sister burst through the front door and then told a story about Paula Partridge's dad seeing red eyes in the barn the night before that their German Shepherd dog Bandit was now missing. So Susan continued, strange red eyes staring out of a doorway of an old barn wasn't something you heard often in central West Virginia. So my childish mind was awakened, and I held on to the story probably longer than anyone else in my family cared to. I can tell you that your ordinary West Virginia citizen didn't believe the tale at first. Now, that doesn't surprise me. That would not surprise me any location, okay? anytime you're like trying to introduce some type of new cryptid, some weird supernatural entity, then obviously you're gonna feel a bit of resistance at the start, right? Give me 2 secs, folks. Just 2 secs, okay? Need to turn this up a little bit. Hang on. There we go, there we go, there we go. I'm back, here we go, here we go. So then, it says there, if we get back to here, get the story back then. Strange red eyes, yep, it was met with something you not heard about in West Virginia. We got that bit. Da-da-da. So it says, until these strange manifestations became Mothman, Indrid Cold and the men in black began to touch their lives in both big and small ways. So my family lived on Shannon's Knob in the small town of West Union in Doddridge County. Kevin, grow up. Dave, take over. No problem. West Virginia, while the Partridges lived about 8 miles away from us in a country community called Center Point. Basically, across a ridge or two. So my grandfather had been the postmistress of Center Point, where she grew up in a log cabin, and there was even a banshee story associated with the community. Sorry, I was seeing people like tagging my name there. Okay, dude. Once I get done with this story, though, right? Dang, everything's going crazy today. Where are we? My grandmother. My grandmother had been the postmistress at Center Point and the banshee, right? We've got that. We'll finally get through this somehow. This is probably the worst article I've ever read out in my life, but that's okay. It's okay. It's the Mothman. It's allowed. Maybe the Mothman's interfering with me. So there's more to come. Much more, in fact, as Susan's words demonstrate. So although the dates given vary, it is usually accepted that on the day of the Merle Partridge sighting, or the red eyes in the barn, it happened on November the 15th, 1966. Was near the TNT plant in Point Pleasant, which was about 100 miles away from Center Point. So shortly before 10 o'clock in the evening, Merle Partridge was watching late night television with son Roger, who was about 11 years old at the time, and they first noticed their German Shepherd dog barking outside. It seemed at a distance from the house, in an atypical kind of way that made them think something was terribly wrong. Yeah, you better believe it. The big fella was coming. At that time, the television set started screaming as the picture blanked out, and the TV made a loud grinding sound, which Partridge later told author John Keel sounded like a generator winding up. Now, if anyone hasn't checked out the Mothman prophecies, you have to. It's absolutely brilliant. If you're into audiobooks, the dude that reads it, it's like listening to hour after hour of the best podcasts you're going to get, honestly. So it goes on to say that Susan adds Partridge's account, which he told me in an interview in 2006, differed slightly from what John Keel eventually included in the Mothman prophecies. Their stories differ. So it says Keel must have misheard Merle Partridge's name and wrote it down as Newell Partridge. Now, that's easily done. So Mr. Partridge was always open about the story and never asked to be given an alias. Merle Partridge told me, I don't know why John Keel wrote my name down as Newell. It's possibly the New York City author couldn't understand Partridge's West Virginia accent. And after listening to Bandit bark for a little while longer, Merle Partridge decided it might be a good idea to investigate the noises. It could have been a prowler on his property or even a black bear. And Center Point was miles from any town. Mr. Partridge grabbed a flashlight, took Roger in tow, and the two headed outdoors to find out what all the ruckus was about. Partridge didn't see any red eyes from a distance, as some accounts claim. Instead, he saw Bandit standing at the entrance to the empty barn, and which Partridge described as a football field away. So the dog barked frantically as he continued to stare into the barn. Now, as the story continues, Miss Merle, Partridge, and Roger got closer to the barn, and Partridge said that he felt the hair rise up on his arms. When he looked into the barn, he saw what he described as what looked to be red, rotating electrical lights. And Partridge explained to me, red lights, red eyes, whatever you want to call them. On that chilly November night, Partridge noticed what he thought was a dark shape lumbering up from the floor of the barn. The fur stood up on Bandit's back, and the dog snarled angrily, and he shot into the barn towards whatever the dark form was. Now, Merle, Partridge, and Roger ran back to the house, and as they sat down in front of the television set, Bandit stopped barking, and the picture came back on the screen. Cam was restored, or was it? Still, Mr. Partridge later mentioned that he slept with his rifle beside him that night. And the next morning, Bandit did not come to the back door for his breakfast as he usually did. And Merle Partridge remembered that the last time he'd seen Bandit, the dog was running into the barn, seemingly in pursuit of the red eyes or lights in the dark form. Finally, says Susan, Merle and his children, Mary, Roger, and Gary, headed for the barn, and what they found inside was chilling and mysterious. They discovered Bandit's paw prints in the dirt floor, or in the dirt floor on the barn, but the paw prints only went in a circle and didn't lead away. It was as if the dog had been picked up and carried away by something much stronger and larger. Mary Partridge also commented there were other tracks, but they didn't belong to the dog. She said they looked like giant turkey tracks, but ones they'd never seen before. Giant turkey tracks? Are you telling me the old Mothman's walking about on turkey feet? Dang, that just got creepier. So it says here, at that point, yeah, we had that bit. Other tracks. Where's the turkey bit gone? There we go. She said they looked like a giant turkey tracks, but ones like she'd never seen before. And at this point, Merle Partridge didn't realise that the night before, less than an hour after his encounter with the red eyes in the barn, Roger and Linda Scarberry of Point Pleasant, along with Steve and Mary Mallet, would also meet up with those red eyes at the TNT plant on the outskirts of town, and then more times along Route 2. Except now they were able to see a figure attached to the red eyes, or lights in detail. Now it's Linda Scarberry. I think that's who Travis Short actually interviewed, now that I think back to it, because it involved the incident at the TNT factory and then the drive home as well. So yeah, that there, the dog in the barn, where'd it go? Was it the Mothman that done it? And what did the turkey tracks? What do you all make of that? So I'm going to have a little drink of coffee. I'm going to put the tunes on. I'm going to see why, see Anne's team lifting the cup, I suppose. And then I'll be back in one moment. We'll hang out with the chat room. We'll get ready to shift gears and head on over to TFR for the arrival of Nanogirl. Nanogirl is going to be on fire tonight. I just know she is. So let's head on over to the music, and I'll be back in just a moment. Hey, Sidvich. Dude, you're always welcome to lurk here. You know that. You're my favourite lurker in the whole wide world. I'm a bit of a lurker myself, man. I love to lurk. Usually when I go into streams, if I end up in the chat, I get distracted. I'm easily distracted. What can I say? No.
always lurking. Go everyone with a 76's birthday this year. Oh, and Brian. Kev. Bakerville number 76 hashtag no not fallout hashtag Cabes hashtag woo also boo. Also, Rose, for...
Oh, it cut off. That's a rose for Connie. Hey, Connie, you get a rose. That's awesome, Sid. Thank you. Oh boy. Susie let off an air biscuit. Yep. Anne has nearly had to vacate the building. What is it with cats when they let out air biscuits? Something so cute, so fluffy, so timid, and so toxic. Whoa! Connie, I tell you, you're going to be the envy of all the other people in that chat room. Sid giving you flowers and things. I don't know. From KBS love in the air, and Sid giving flowers to Connie. I'm telling you, it's all happening here. Yes, it is. I love it. Love it. You lot in the chat. Use add. No. I add to what yous bring to this channel. How's that? How is that? I think that's the way it works here, and I'm okay with that. I love it. I love having this kind of quiet, little relaxed stream where I know most of you in there. All right, I know your digital avatars. I know your electronic personas. It might be nothing like the real you, that's okay. But at least we have our little family here. It's really cool. Who else we got in there? Sid's laughing away. Now remember, Sid gets us... I don't know if you realise this, Sid, but you have got a special place in the KBS promo, right? Because I come into every show and I say good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are and all that nonsense. And then I say, coming from the smart land and the heartland of Scotland, all the way from Australia to Alaska, and Norway, Sid, to Nebraska. Now, I don't know any other Norwegian listener apart from you, brother. So I think you have had bestowed upon you your own little shout out every day on the main show. It's kind of cool, right? I like that though. Australia to Alaska, Norway to Nebraska. That's pretty cool. It's almost like George Napa screaming Scirocco through the Nevada desert, right? So then, who else is in there? Cheryl is saying, my cats aren't so bad, but my son's dog. Oh, when dogs go, man, I tell you. And have you ever noticed when a dog goes, it'll either look at you with like really guilty eyes, but it kind of looks at you like, just get some of that. Like it's proud of what it's done. I mean, let's face it, most humans are proud when they drop the air biscuits. What, you're not? Is that just me? Is that just my scary mum that wants to bottle them? Why did I remember it was my cat. She dropped an air biscuit. I was about to ask, how did we get here? So, I'm seeing it. Right, see that emoji? Is that like a dancing emoji? What is that emoji? Because Rorschach, God, I got it. Rorschach, mad. She's got it up. We've got Toxic Crusader, got it up. No probs, but is that Discord? Yeah, this goes to Discord, man. drop it into the Discord, dude. Just drop it in there, and that way I can get it on a future show. Because I don't have time today. It sounds like something I really want to dive into. Anything with like humanoids, and there's trees involved. Come on, I'm a tree hugger, right? I'm not really. Trees for me, forests, scariest places in the world. Nothing good ever happens in the forest, folks. Nothing. That was a bit sinister, wasn't it? I'm sure plenty of good stuff happens in the woods. Hey, we've got a unicorn flying in there as well. So, come on, folks. What do you think? What's the turkey tracks all about with the Mothman? Come on. Before we shift gears and I get my sensible head on. If I need my sensible head on for Nano, I need to be on my A game. Like a laser. Focused. And that's why I love doing these kind of little shows beforehand. If you just go in and start the show and have to be Kev Baker show, like, turn it on instantly. Hey, sometimes it takes a little bit to get going on the show. Doesn't matter who's on, it's just me. It takes a little bit to get warmed up, get into it. You know, but if I do this beforehand, I get to hang with yous, we have our coffee. And then by the time I get Nanogirl, whew, it's like plain sailing. I'm already there. I'm already Dave Baker. The transformation has taken place. Yes. May the forest be with you, said the herbal Jedi. Polly, I love you, man. Love you. It's not turkeys, it's chickens. Ah. Buck, buck. Absolutely. Whoa. So my team were 4-1 down. Now my team are 4-3 down. By the time probably I get off this stream, we'll be beating Nan's team. Yeah, oh, that'd be awesome. Be awesome. Lydia. She couldn't describe the tracks, so she just picked out something that she saw once before. Exactly. Exactly. That's what your brain does. It looks for something familiar. Like, if you've seen something, I don't know what the foot of a Mothman looks like, but I dare say nobody would. So, somebody seen it and they went, turkey track. I'm with you there. I like it. I like your thinking there, Lydia. Yes. A master of something. Oh, and master of nothing. I tell you, that should be my title. Little Glob. I know, I'm dreaming. I know. But it'd be nice. So, listen. I have got Nanogirl sitting ready on Skype. I have got all of the material that she's going to be laying out tonight in front of me. It's all there. We're ready to go. I would love for y'all to head on over to TFR Live. Let's crash the chat room, like I like to say. But no, it's filled to the rafters these days, and I can't thank you enough for that. These have all been really, really, really cool. The way that we've gone from simulcasting back over to the network. And, you know, we kind of future-proofed ourselves there, eh? Because even the kind of things that we used to talk about on the simulcast that weren't really too dodgy, even that's becoming a thing of the past over here on YouTube. And hey, listen, I could moan, I could complain, but why should I? We've got what we want here. We have our fun, we have our woo. We look at the topics we can look at. All good in the hood. And then we've got other places where we can go and do other stuff. And that's why I really, really, really love having the TFR show right after this. Because there, well, you can speak with no care. So if you want to join me and Nanogirl over there, it's tfrlive.com/chat. If you're in the Discord, we always turn on a room in there as well. Some people like to relax, chill out in the smoking listening room that we have over at, and it literally is smoking. I mean, literally smoking. Head on over there. There's a good group of people listening there. Charlie was quite shocked at the amount of people that listen in there, I think. I get quite shocked by the amount of people in there. I'd love for you, wherever you are, however you listen, come and join me and Nanogirl. You get to hear me every day, but you only get the opportunity to hear Nano every couple of weeks or so. So please, please, please head on over there. And I'll be back tomorrow. We will be on for a far longer stream tomorrow. I promise you, we'll have far much more structure to it. We'll have some stories to go over. We'll get some fun going. And then I'll jump on to the main show tomorrow night with Scotty Lopez. But to make up for today, I will be on earlier tomorrow. How's that sound to you? And we can go for longer. and then we jump straight over to the show. I hope that makes up for the really quick, brief story and stream today. If not, it's all you're getting. That's all I can give you. So until 11 minutes, I need to get out of here. Folks, it's been absolutely fantastic. Thank you all for being here. Remember, keep it real, keep it safe, and whatever you do, keep your mind open. Keep looking for the woo, but not to the point where your brain turns to black goo. Hey, there, Donnie again. Donnie, the man that never sleeps. I tell you, we're going back down under at the weekend with Donnie, Luna, Jess. Hopefully Ken can join us as well. That'll be a good blast. We're out of here, folks. I am off to get Nanogirl, and I'll speak to you real soon.